Said.
But then they never did have any type
But
of...
there never was a war here. And there's 25 gun ports. You can see them up there around the fort.
So the Hinckleys paid for all of this then, huh? And then the Hinckley family paid for all this and then donated it back to the church?
Yeah,
Wow.
and then the church bought it back.
Huh. You bet. 1867. See that up there?
A couple of years after the Civil War. Thank you.
What do you think, Lex?
These doors are original.
Are they?
They were filled with sand and cotton. Later they dumped them, and because they were too heavy to close.
Yeah.
Oh.
Filled with sand so they'd be bulletproof?
Yeah. The trees are original. They were planted a year after the fort was built.
Wow.
They're black locusts. They have a white flower on them. And when they get fully grown, they're a hardwood. And we don't know, but if the wagons needed repair, they could use that type of wood. Oh.
So what was right here originally, this little stairway here?
Well, this is what, there's a gun port up
Oh,
there.
a gun port, okay.
And they can look out when the doors are closed.
Okay. So
to
they had
see
someone
who
at the
was
door?
At the door, uh-huh.
Okay.
There's
See that, Lex?
there's,
If there were bad guys at the door, they could go up there and they could put a gun out that. You want to see it? Come here.
And this is the stage shop and the post office. And notice the fireplaces. They're quite shallow.
Yeah, they are.
The reason for that is so that the heat would come out further into the room. It has 2 flues, and it took the smoke out very well. This is a buffalo robe over here on this bed.
Buffalo.
Yeah, and it makes out into a bigger bed.
Oh, that bed pulls straight out.
You can turn it into a...
Pardon?
Oh, just the bed pulls straight out?
Uh-huh, it does. For a long time, we didn't have this buffalo robe pulled back.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see it very well. But our facility missionary... Yeah, we got a message in here and it'll start clicking pretty soon again.
Before there were telephones.
Yeah, and you know what? Do you know what I think that message is saying? It's from Grandma, and she's saying, "I love you."
Yes. Send a message over. Because before they had telephones, you could just pick up the telephone and call somebody, so they have to do it through those little machines. And
They didn't have computers like you have.
Yeah. So
These bottles down here were filled with chemicals. And it's like our car battery. And that would create the electricity. And the telegram would only go about 30 miles.
Oh.
So there had to be somebody to receive it and pass it on.
It was on a relay.
Okay.
And then they would send it, and then they'd send it back to make sure that it was right before they sent it on. But they used to tap on that little round thing right there.
These are original windows?
No, they're not.
They're not, they're replaced?
They had to replace them all. The fellow over in Germany.
They look
made
original.
The glass. They
That's
do
neat.
look for original, yes.
Wow.
And when we first started on our mission, we used to get to say there was 5 original panes of glass, but there's not now.
Oh, really?
Oh
We
no.
found out that there wasn't.
Oh. Something about the church is they sure do nice restorations
Don't they
on
do?
stuff.
No, we're so glad they got it back because you noticed in the little black and white film how run down it was. And,
Yeah.
you know, but this is the kitchen.
Ooh,
This is where they came to eat. Yes.
It does. Smells like spices.
Now, there's nothing in the fort that is original.
that is original.
Isn't.
Oh, isn't? So all this, all
So
the
this,
furnishings are?
these furnishes aren't. They had to check, they had to search out
Oh, okay.
to find in that period of time.
Okay.
So it's period, just not original to the fort.
Right. Now, there's one piece, and it's over in the very last room, that is original.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get to see that one.
So the family that had it then, they just kind of had it abandoned. They weren't using it for anything.
Well, Ira Hinckley was called to be state president. They lived here for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was called to be state president in Fillmore. And so he went down to Fillmore. His brother managed it for a little while. And then it was just, nobody lived in it. It was vacant for quite a while. And then
Would you guys like to be in that tub right there?
see this, does this bathtub over here look like yours at home?
Would you like to have a bath there?
It sure doesn't, does it?
Oh. That's sort of.
Yeah, bath time wouldn't be as much fun as it is at home, is it?
No.
Would it? Probably didn't have any toys either. Bathtub toys.
I don't think so.
Like you guys do, huh?
Let's see. What is that thing on the wall?
That is called a yoke. The boys would put that around their shoulders and then carry buckets of water on those hooks.
Okay.
But I took a bath in something like that. I did. And I still have mine.
Oh, really?
I've got flowers in it.
That's pretty neat.
Probably works better for that.
Yeah.
That's neat.
That last iron up there is called the fluting iron with the
One
ridges in it.
Okay.
And that's what they ironed the ruffles on the dresses with.
Oh.
And the way they did the irons, you guys probably know, but they would put they put 2 irons on the stove and get them hot. And then they would take one off and iron what they have to iron. Put the other back on and take the other off. Yeah.
Are these rain gutters? How old are they?
Oh, they're not old. No.
They look old.
They had to
Sure look neat.
put them in when they redid the fort.
Yeah,
Because if you noticed in the film, there was no rain gutters at all.
yeah. They look old though.
Yep.
Well, what they try to do is get it to where, that it does look old.
Yeah.
Notice this is the boys' room, and they had 4 boys. Notice on the floor, that big hole down there,
Oh.
that's called a root cellar. And that's where they kept their fruits and vegetables.
That's kind of neat,
Nobody
huh?
would get them.
So they could keep cold because they didn't have a fridge.
And then the beds, they were filled with straw. And see the ropes down here that they have for mattresses? Or for the box springs,
Yeah.
like yours is? Well, this is what they used to have to sleep on.
That's
And the
pretty crazy,
mattresses
yeah.
that would get to be saggy, they would take this bed key over here in the window and they would tighten up the ropes on the bed.
Wow.
They kept a rolling pin above their bed, and they would roll the mattress, get the lumps out, and straw causes bugs. And this is where we get sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Look at those leather
Have
pants.
you heard that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, they have some dominoes over here on the table like
They
you guys
did.
have.
They found those dominoes out there in the dirt in the back.
Oh, yeah?
That neat old gun up there too. That's kind of cool, huh?
In this room, I gotta ask you this one. In this room, we like to ask you a question. There's 4 sources of light in this room. The door not included. Can you name them?
There's 2 lamps right there,
The 2 lanterns, that's one.
not including the window.
The door.
So is the window one?
The window is
So
one.
the window is
So
one.
that's 2.
And then,
And that, we'll see that little thing underneath the bed?
oh,
Do you know what that's called?
See if you can guess what that is.
That's called a chamber pot.
You know what that pot's for?
And that's what they go to the bathroom in.
Yeah, they go potty. That's where you went potty, and then the next morning you take it out and put it in the house.
The boys then have to take it and dump it and clean it.
Ew, yuck.
Is that gross?
I think the girls should have to do that.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.